Iraq's defense ministry announced that the operation to recapture the Old City from Islamic State began early Sunday, and that government forces are very close to the militants. Military officials expect a tough battle.
Of course the battle will be hard. It's the last advance point held by Islamic State.
The militants have controlled Iraq's second-largest city for 3 years. The Old City is home to the historic Al-Nouri Mosque, where Islamic State leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi delivered a speech in 2014 declaring parts of Iraq and Syria under the militants' control and Islamic Caliphate. The Iraqi government began an offensive to retake Mosul in October. The last part of Mosul, still held by the militants, will be the hardest to recapture because the old city core is densely populated and fighting endangers civilians.
We want to protect civilians and their belongings and protect the infrastructure in an area crowded with civilians, crowded with buildings, with narrow streets. All of these are factors restricting the speed of the advance.
Officials say the militants use civilians as human shields and execute those who refuse to cooperate.
The enemy is right behind these houses. I think that you have heard the sound of an explosion of the 2 car bombs minutes ago. It is painful to stand here near graves of people executed by Islamic State after they tried to escape.
But they say so far the operation is going as planned.
The priority for the Iraqi forces is to open safe corridors more than to advance on the ground. The main thing is to save the people from the militants.
The militants have lost much of their territory over the last 3 years, and Mosul is their last urban bastion in Iraq. The United Nations estimates that as many as 150,000 civilians could be trapped in the old city under desperate conditions. Russia's military officials said last week that their May 28 airstrikes on Raqqa in Syria killed several Islamic State leaders and likely killed or wounded al-Baghdadi himself. Zlatica, Hoke, VOA News, Washington.